Five Nights at Freddy's has officially hit DBD. With it comes a lot of new players, and I'm gonna take this opportunity to make a video to help put some clarification onto what I think the killers in DBD would be classified as. This video is not an official list made by Behavior, and is mostly to be seen on how I view things. If you disagree with my takes, I would like to know in the comments what you have to say. The types of killers consist out of the following 5 classes: chase, anti-loop, ranged, stealth, and trap killers. And we will also go by that order, starting with chase killers. Chase killers are the most common type of killer you will face in DBD. They are gap closers and vary from sprint type abilities like Hillbilly to catching abilities like the Houndmaster. To be clear, whilst a Hillbilly sprints towards a survivor, immediately putting them down on hit, the Houndmaster instead still has to take the survivor down on base move speed while the survivor is put on a hold. The effects of their abilities might apply on different subjects, boosting the killer or hindering the target, but have a similar goal, if not for immediately downing a survivor, and struggle against the same weaknesses. But before I get into weaknesses, I have to point out that they are also usually very efficient at map travel, meaning going from one end of the map to the other with little effort. These killers need for their abilities to work a clear path with nothing in between. A pallet or a simple tile, if you know what you're doing, should do the job. Except for nurse. And as of playing them, better make use of your ability before entering or when leaving a loop. Instead, be patient and try catching her up with Bloodlust. With that, we're gonna move to the next category of killers, which are anti-loop killers. Anti-loop killers have abilities that are best used in situations where chase killers would struggle. Mainly, what their abilities are about is to limit a survivor's actions. I'm gonna explain this further with the doctor's ability, as I see most of newer players not understanding the full power of his kit. The doctor has, like most of the other anti-loop killers, a good time at detecting survivors, but what his shock also does when in chase, for 2.5 seconds, survivors are denied any form of interaction and can only run. Other anti-loop killers, like the knight who summons guards, will when entering a loop try to engage on a survivor's front for landing a hit or even instantly downing a survivor. So as a survivor, you don't want to be in a situation such as this. These killers usually struggle with movement and catching up. Instead, use this to your advantage and leave a loop before they are able to make use of their ability. The next killers are a little simpler to understand, and therefore I don't have to explain too much. Ranged killers. Killers with the power to down a survivor from afar, varying from Huntress, who throws hatches taking a hell state on hit, but has to collect her ammo after throwing them out all after another, to killers such as Unknown, which are pretty recent. They need to get you in a poison state with their power before capable of taking a hell state. They always come with an inbuilt penalty or obstacle to their power. Survivors should play similarly against them like with chase killers, but instead of just putting an object between you and the killer, ranged killers rely on having clear sight and still can hit over pallets and vaults. So look out and make use of your third person view angle, as it is super helpful in certain situations against these killers. Now to stealth killers, which are a class that I think needs to have a refreshment. DBD used to be a hide and seek style game once, and this was also when Michael Myers essentially was in his prime. With only one original killer in here, I can't even tell if the makers are even interested in creating new ones any further. So much for my rant. What do stealth killers do? Their abilities are designed to deny info about their location and to catch careless survivors that hold their view on the gen solely. Stealth killers are also anti-chase killers. They have a huge potential for catching survivors off guard, but when it comes to chases, they are mostly reliant on their basic attacks. So being in a chase with these killers can actually for once be a sign of relief. It is important for when playing as a stealth killer to know if survivors are aware of your location. Your biggest enemy will be survivor squads, those who play in a group of 4 and can coordinate your location to the others. What you also don't want to do is to chase survivors for too long. This counts especially for stealth killers, as your main benefit is to play outside of the survivor's view. Now, I've said that stealth killers need a refreshment, but these, the trap killers, need a whole makeover, consisting out of only 3 killers, with 2 of them not even working in the game properly. It is highly unlikely that anyone will stick around for them. However, I still took it up to myself on explaining each of the 5 killer classes. Trap killers have abilities, so-called traps, that they can put up to then hurt, or how we call it, zone a survivor into them. Traps come with autonomous functions that activate when a survivor simply steps in their trigger field. We still have some variety in here, with the trapper, who has simple bear traps which pin a survivor and put them on injured. But also the hack, whomst traps jumpscare the survivor, putting their camera angle to the opposite directions of where they were heading, and also lets her teleport to an effigy that comes with triggering her traps. Trap killers, if they set up correctly, can have a field day against survivors who don't prepare correctly. Either a survivor steps uncautiously into one, giving the killer location info, or ending a chase before starting it. Survivors essentially need to do the extra work of finding and disarming nearby traps. Most of them aren't even that hard to make out, so move your butts a little. And there you have it. This video took quite a while and effort, as it is also the first video of this type I ever made. So all I hope is that if you're new, that this could help you understand the broad field of DBD's killers a little better. I have ideas for more videos planned already. I really want to get some concepts, ideas for custom killers and reworks out. So this isn't going to be a pure DBD educational channel. Till then, and make your day.
Like a lot of... It sounds like a lot of... Sounds like a... Sounds like a lot of... Over a little Krabby Patty, right? Wrong!